Since moving to Japan, a lot of people have asked me what I usually cook here, especially since I'm vegetarian. People have asked me what veggie meals I could make here in Japan. So I thought I might share 10 meals I really like here and that you could make at home, even if you don't live in Japan. Most of the ingredients I'm going to talk about here are things you could probably find anywhere else in the world. You might not be able to find them in a regular supermarket, but I'm sure you can find them on the internet or in an Asian shop. So the first dish I'd like to talk about is miso soup. I'm sure most of you know what miso soup is, and it's actually really easy to make at home. In order to make miso soup, the two ingredients you really need are dashi and miso paste. Apart from the dashi and the miso paste that I'm sure you could find in an Asian shop, the other ingredients you can really put whatever you want. So I usually like to put tofu, and then you can put green onion, mushrooms, so for example shiitake. You could also add wakame. So this is wakame, it's a type of seaweed. This dashi isn't actually vegetarian, but you can find a vegetarian version that's made out of seaweed, out of kombu. Another side dish that I really like is just having a bowl of rice with furikake. They're basically just rice seasoning. So these are all the furikake we have. So for some of them you have to put them in the rice while it cooks, and for the others you can just sprinkle them on top when your rice is cooked. So yeah, that's basically the only thing you need. My boyfriend told me that furikake is usually for children, but I like my rice that way. And another side dish that we really like is a cucumber salad with sesame oil dressing. You can either use cucumber or raw cabbage, and then you can make a dressing that's made of sesame oil, rice vinegar and soy sauce. It has a really Asian flavor and I really like it. So this is the sesame oil that we have. Then you can just sprinkle the little salad with sesame seeds. It's really nice. Now that we're done with side dishes, let's get to the real main dishes. Let's start with the noodles. The first kind of noodles I'd like to talk about is udon. Udon are really thick noodles, and they usually come in a big bowl in broth, and then you can add lots of vegetables and toppings. You can buy udon in Asian shops, and then you can make the udon broth yourself with 3 ingredients. So the first one is dashi, the second one is soy sauce and mirin. Once you have your base, so you have your udon noodles and your broth that you made with the 3 ingredients, you can pretty much put whatever you want in it. So I like to put tofu, usually fried tofu, and then also green onions, mushrooms like shiitake. Basically anything you can put in miso soup you can pretty much put in udon, except I would usually have silk tofu in miso soup and fried tofu in udon. Then we have yakisoba, one of my favorites. So yakisoba is stir-fry vegetable noodles. The 2 main ingredients you need are the yakisoba noodles. Again, you can buy these in any Asian shop, and yakisoba sauce. Usually when we make yakisoba we put cabbage, onions. I'm sure it would work also with carrots, with mushrooms. If you're feeling really lazy like us sometimes, you can just buy the yakisoba noodles that are ready to make. You just put water and add vegetables, and you don't actually need to buy the sauce. But you can easily find yakisoba sauce if you want to do it yourself. Now when it comes to noodles, there's actually a third kind of noodles I think isn't as famous. They're called somen. So somen is noodles that are cold, they're served cold, so it's a really nice dish for summer. So how it works is you have your noodles in one bowl, and then in another bowl you have a dipping sauce and usually a few vegetables, and with every bite you dip your noodles in the dipping sauce and then you eat and you repeat. The 2 main ingredients you need to make somen noodles are, of course, the somen noodles. These are the ones that we have. They're basically, yeah, just thin white wheat noodles. and they're really easy to cook. And then of course you need the dipping sauce. So you can actually buy the dipping sauce already made. So we have this one. You just mix it with water, or you can make it from scratch from the same ingredients that you have in the broth that we used for udon. So dashi, soy sauce and mirin. So once you have your somen noodles and your dipping sauce, you can just add a few vegetables. You don't want to have too many big vegetables, but we usually have thinly sliced green onions, sesame seeds, and sometimes ginger. You can either put these on the dipping sauce or next to the noodles and just take a little bit of vegetables and toppings every time you have a bite of your noodles. Okay, now that we're done with noodles, let's get to the comfort food. One dish that I really like, and it's actually from here, from Osaka, is Okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki is a thick pancake that you make with dashi and shredded cabbage inside of the batter, and mix all of it and put it on a pan like a pancake. In Japan, we usually put okonomiyaki sauce on top. Again, you can find that in an Asian shop. And you can also put some mayonnaise with it as well. Usually we also add aonori, which is seaweed you can spread on top, and also bonito flakes, but that's not vegetarian. Okay, number 8, Kare. So Kare is a Japanese curry, and you really don't need a lot of ingredients. The two main ingredients are rice and Kare cubes. These are cubes that you can buy in Asian supermarkets, Asian shops, and they just melt, so it just makes the sauce. It's really easy to make. We make Kare every single week, so that's why we have a huge block of Kare cubes. Although the base is rice and the Kare sauce, so the Kare cubes that you use with it, you can put different vegetables in it. Typically, we put potatoes, onions and carrots. Sometimes you can also find meat, but it tastes really good without the meat. So what you do is when you're cooking your vegetables in water, you just add the cube of Kare at the end, mix it all together, it makes the sauce, and you put it on top of rice, and that's it, and it's really good. Okay, now let's get to party food. These two next dishes are dishes that I feel like would be really good to make when you have friends over or family over and you want to have an interactive dinner. So the first one is sushi. So of course you know what sushi is. The 4 main ingredients you need to make your sushi are of course the rice. For the seasoning for the rice, you're going to need rice vinegar, sugar and salt. Then you'll need some nori sheets to roll your sushi in, and soy sauce for dipping. There's lots of different typical Japanese sushi that are vegetarian. You can make cucumber sushi, egg sushi. Making sushi is a really fun thing to do with other people, but I know it can be quite long to do. It can take quite a lot of time. So you don't actually have to roll your sushi. You can actually make temaki, which is an alternative to sushi. So temaki is basically like sushi. What we do when we have temaki is we usually prepare all of the ingredients. So cut the cucumber, make a thin omelette and cut it into small pieces, and then we'll also have the rice ready, and then put them all in different bowls or plates. And then what you do when you have a temaki is everyone sits at the table and just helps themselves to anything they like, and everyone customizes their own temaki. So you just take a little piece of nori, like a quarter of a sheet or half a sheet, and then you put a little ball of rice, put whatever fillings you want in it, put a little bit of soy sauce, and then you're done. And you don't need to roll the sushis, cut them, because sometimes when you're not used to making sushi, it can be quite long if you're a beginner. And then another dish that you can easily make with other people, and that would be quite fun to make together, is gyoza. So in order to make gyoza, you can actually buy gyoza wrappers. So they're thin, round dough sheets. And then again, you can fill the sheet with pretty much whatever you like. You can fill them with cabbage, mushroom, tofu, also green onion. You can also add carrots, spinach, and mix it all together, make a little paste. So you just take a gyoza sheet, you put the paste made of all the different vegetables or things you wanted to put inside, close it, and then fry it on a pan. So I feel like you could make different kinds if you want to try different flavors. So yeah, it's quite a nice thing to do with friends. I'm gonna give you a bonus dish just because it's quite hard to do in other countries. So if you feel like making another classic Japanese dish, but you want to invest in a special machine, you can make takoyaki. So takoyaki are little balls of dough with filling inside and usually a nice sauce on top and toppings as well. So the takoyaki batter is pretty easy to make. The filling is usually octopus, but as a vegetarian, I usually put lots of different things in it. You can put cheese, mushrooms, green onions. So you use this little, it's called an electric takoyaki plate. You just put the batter in the little holes, put some filling inside, and then we use a special takoyaki stick, or you can just use regular chopsticks if you want, to turn them around, flip them around so they can cook on both sides, and it makes little balls. And then you put them in a plate, top them with takoyaki sauce. Also you can put bonito flakes like these on top, and also you can put aonori, so again it's the seaweed flakes. Usually we also put a little bit of mayonnaise on that. So basically the same toppings as okonomiyaki. Takoyaki is also a classic Osaka dish. But I actually feel like this is a really good investment. I feel like you could make desserts out of this. Like you could just make a regular pancake dough and then put them in the little, again in little holes, put a piece of chocolate in that, turn them around, and then it would make cute little pancake balls filled with chocolate. Might be onto something here. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed these 11 classic Japanese dishes. I'll try to find recipes, specific recipes for each of these, and put them in the description. So let me know if there's anything else you want me to show you, or yeah, anything else you're interested in. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.